Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I'm on the road and I thought I better share something with you. I was thinking the state of this country is really messed up. You know it, I know it. And it's just, and I get confused because I don't understand how everybody doesn't know this. And as I'm driving along here, and I was thinking, when I was training SWAT teams, they had one time I did this, and I don't remember what they call them, but it was on a telephone. They called me on a telephone. I had hostages, and they didn't know where I was, but I was upstairs. And so I'm upstairs talking to the negotiator, that's what it is, talking to the hostage negotiator. And I told them, keep everybody away from the building. And I looked out, and I could see there was SWAT team members running along with a ladder. And I'm thinking, you know, I told them to stay away, and they're still coming. So I told the guy, the negotiator, I told him, I said, I told you to keep everybody away from the building. And he says, there's nobody close to the building. I'm keeping everybody away. And just for that moment, I was really, really confused, because in my ear, he was telling me one thing, but my eyes was telling me something else. And that was confusing. And when we got done with this exercise, we played the whole thing out, and it was one of the most scariest exercises, not only for me but for the SWAT team involved. But when we got all done, I went over to the negotiator and I was talking to him, and you know, I told him, I said, when he was lying to me, and when he was lying to me, you know, that really made me uncooperative, because I knew he was lying. And I asked him, well, why would he lie on something like that? If he's supposed to be gaining my trust, why would he do something like that? And he told me that I will say anything. Whatever I have to say, I will say it. That is my job. And it dawned on me that, well, after that, whenever I did SWAT team training, I never talked to a negotiator. Because, like I say, I understood at that time his job wasn't really to negotiate, but his job was to buy time and keep me in one area and keep some kind of control over me. And now, as I think about it, I'm getting that same feeling. Normally, I don't watch TV, and I don't watch, especially the big networks, supposedly big networks, even though they only have 3 or 4 million people watching them. And then there's radio and internet sites that do more than that. But anyway, because they're controlled, and that's why I get confused. And that, I think, is what makes the American people in general confused. They watch this crap on the news saying, oh, well, the country is going, and you know, Obama did it, Bush did it. I mean, I'm just saying, these politicians, and the way they do their system is they tell their networks what's going on. Now, I'm not saying they're telling them exactly what to say and stuff like that, but the networks work with them, and they say stuff, and it's to the point now that I know they say stuff intentionally that they know is inaccurate. I mean, there's enough examples, I think, out there that people know about that. But what I'm saying is, when they tell us one thing, the networks, the president, when he speaks, and they tell us something, and we look and we see that it's nothing like what they talk about, we get confused. And then we get so confused, we get kind of like complaining. We just don't do nothing. We just kind of sit back and we don't raise hell, because enough people keep jumping up and saying, well, everything is good. Just like this unemployment. Well, there's no unemployment. There's only 8 point something, you know. And with anybody with any sense, you look around, you can see there's a lot of people that aren't working. There's a lot of people on unemployment. I can't get over how many people are on unemployment. Food stamps and all this kind of stuff. So I get confused. Where does this 8 point something or another come from? Because there's a lot more than that. So it's a bunch of stuff just like that. Protecting our borders. Well, you know, it's not that big a thing. Well, you see, they're confusing us. We see one thing, they say one thing, and then your mind gets confused. So the moral of the story is, and I've always said that, whenever somebody is trying to confuse me, I know they're trying to screw me. So if you can't explain it nice and simple, where I understand, I know it's not a good deal. So, and we know that already from the bills that they pass, the executive orders that the president signs, when he knows he's not even in that position to sign something such as that. Well, we'll make it a law. He will make it a law with his signature, and we'll let the courts figure this out. You know what I mean? That's wrong. We know it, and we don't hold his feet to the fire on this stuff. But that kind of stuff is what makes things confusing, and they're doing it on purpose. So there's a reason. When you get confused on this stuff, there's a reason. That's the tactics that they're using. Keep that in mind.